Everyone loves a good tier list, so that is exactly what I'm going to do in today's video. I'm going to be ranking 15 of the most popular men's fragrances. Technically, they're probably not the most popular. I did choose them myself. I think they're going to be interesting to make a video out of. I didn't get this from a list on a website. It's just all from up here. Yeah, let's get into it. What is the tier list criteria? Well, obviously smell is going to be the most important, but also performance, so it's projection, longevity, that will be taken into account. Its value for money, how good is the fragrance for how much it is charged. Also, what's the other one again? The wearability, is it versatile? Is it a really good winter fragrance? All of those will be taken into account. There's going to be a D tier, C tier, B tier, A tier, and then the best of the best will go into S tier. I'm going to start off with a classic, my first ever fragrance, and that is Versace Eros EDT. This one, look, it's hard not to be biased here because it was my first fragrance, so obviously I have a lot of memories associated with it. I'm going to slot it in straight to C tier. It does smell good. It's a great first fragrance. It's sweet, aromatic, vanilla, apple, mint, really, really nice notes. Performance is solid. The newer batches, honestly, aren't as strong, but the performance is still good. Value for money, Versace fragrances are very fairly priced, so it gets points there. It's also got decent wearability, but the smell gets very boring very quickly. It was my signature scent for about a month, and then I moved on to different fragrances. So for that, I think C tier is fair. You could make the argument for B tier, but we're going to go with C tier for Versace Eros. Next, we have the iconic clubbing beast, Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male. I really, really like this stuff. For me, it's basically a direct upgrade from Versace Eros in terms of everything, really. Smell, performance. Price, it is a little bit more actually, and it's not quite as wearable, but in terms of smell and performance, it's much better. Smells more dense, more rich. I'm going to put this one in, I'm between B and A, but I think I'm going to put this one in A tier. It is an absolute beast. Ultra Male, A tier, sounds fair. Next popular fragrance, Versace Blue Jeans. If you watch my videos on TikTok, you know I absolutely despise this stuff. I get that it's an old school classic, great price, but there's just no value. To me, it literally smells like an old man. So for me, it's got to be in D tier. I'm not compromising with C tier. For me, Versace Blue Jeans is a D tier fragrance, and I have no apologies. Mancera's Red Tobacco. This is a fragrance that I used to really, really love, but now after having Parfum Smiley Carlisle, similar scent profile, just done better, it's just not as good to me. It's basically a refined ashtray smell. The dry down's quite nice because you get some of the cinnamon coming in, but it's still just very harsh and synthetic. Performance though, absolutely beast mode. Price, not too bad. Not great wearability. I'm going to put this one comfortably in the B tier. I know a lot of these fragrances aren't the most popular, but I really enjoy them, and they are very popular. But I think it just makes the list more interesting without, having to just put all the Sauvage and all them in. But anyway, so that being said, the first S tier fragrance, Parfums de Marly Eau Jaune. This isn't one of their most popular offerings, but again, it is just so, so good. And it is getting more hyped. It's an apple pie, very gourmand scent. Wearability is limited, but everything else, actually priced too, it's expensive. But the smell, the projection, the longevity more than makes up for those two other things. This is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. It has to be an S tier. Definitely check this one out. Prada L'Homme EDT. This is one of my most recent fragrance pickups. Extremely popular. I think it's the best-selling men's Prada fragrance. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's simple. It's an iris-based scent. Great for the office. Great for work. Its simplicity does take it down from S tier. I'm going to put it into A tier. Longevity, very solid. Projection is soft, but for what it's designed for, it's absolutely perfect. Price is pretty expensive. It's a Prada fragrance, but it could be worse. And wearability, you can use it all year round. It's a great signature scent, especially if you want to smell subtle, but also just really, really nice. A tier, I think, is perfect for Prada L'Homme. Victor and Rolf Spice Bomb Extreme. I'm going to put this one in the B tier. For me, it's between B and A tier. Apparently, the newer bottles, the performance is quite a lot worse, so I've got to downgrade it for that, assuming it's true. The smell, I really, really enjoy, but I actually do prefer the smell of the original Spice Bomb. I really like the freshness. Also, Infrared EDP is so, so good as well. But Spice Bomb Extreme, it's a classic winter fragrance. Great compliment puller. I think B tier, honestly, for Spice Bomb Extreme is a solid ranking. You could make the argument for A, but I'm going to go with B tier. Nautica Voyage, the TikTok hype beast. I'm slotting this one unapologetically straight into D tier. It is cheap. That's the one thing it's got going for it. It's 20 Australian dollars. pretty insane, but all you're getting really is just a synthetic mess of freshness, aquatic, and a little bit of saltiness. Look, if it's your first fragrance, if you want to blind buy something as a younger guy, sure, go for it. Get Nautica Voyage, but don't expect anything great from it. You're going to get bored of it so quickly. D tier, Nautica Voyage. Let's go straight back to the S tier with Dior Homme Intense. I was deciding between A and S tier, but objectively, it's an S tier fragrance. It's just beautifully blended. The iris, the powderiness, the woodiness. It's so good. It's very long lasting. The projection's soft, but I think for the fragrance scent profile, it works perfectly. For me, my preference is it's an A tier fragrance, but objectively, S tier for Dior Homme Intense, it just sounds right. Another, or not another niche, but another fantastic fragrance, Sauvage Naxos. This is another one. I was between A and S tier, but I think I'm gonna go with A tier on this one, but it very well could be S tier. Honey, lavender, tobacco, vanilla, so well blended like Dior Homme Intense. Amazing projection, longevity is great as well. Wearability is extremely underrated. You can wear this literally as a signature scent all year round, even in the summertime, in my opinion. You know what? Actually, no. Oh, okay. We'll go A tier. I've decided. A tier for Naxos, but you could make the argument for S tier. Jean Paul Gaultier, Le Male Parfum. This is my favorite Jean Paul Gaultier fragrance that they have made. It's still very sweet, but made more classy. It's powdery with the iris note. Perfect for winter, date nights, going out, that type of thing. It ticks all the boxes. For me, I'm going to go with a solid A tier for Le Male Parfum. I've got to get this one out of the way eventually. I mean, the title is the most popular, so Dior Sauvage. I have the EDP version. The EDP I would put at B tier. If it was the EDT, I would go C tier. I think it gets way too much hate. I really like the scent profile. It is generic, but it is extremely mass appealing. Great compliment getter. Fantastic wearability all seasons round. I don't recommend making a signature though, because so many other guys, you're going to smell like so many other guys, and that's basically what takes it down so many levels in my opinion. I like a fragrance that not heaps of other guys will wear. But Sauvage, overhated. I think B tier is fair for Sauvage. Parfums de Marly Layton, by far their most popular offering. Alongside Aventus, probably the most popular men's niche fragrance of all time. To me, it's just, there's too much almond. I smell something, Vicks Vapor Rub is what people say it smells like, and it kind of does in some ways. But it is a classic. I don't know, this is tough. I think for me, smell-wise, I would put it in B tier. But just because of how iconic it is, and because I know so many people love it objectively, I'm gonna put this in A tier. Mont Blanc Legend Spirit, fresh, watery citrus at a very affordable price. However, it's not super unique, and also the performance is really bad, but it is one of my favorite, fresh cheapies that you can just go down the road and pick up. So for that, I'm gonna put it at a high C tier, but my bias wants to put it at B tier, but we're gonna go C tier on Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. Club de Nuit Intense Man, in my opinion, another C tier fragrance. Great performance, great longevity, and great price. The issue is the opening is extremely harsh and synthetic. It makes a lot of people just turn their nose away. If you can't get past the opening, if you can't get past a bad opening, do not buy Club de Nuit Intense Man. But the dry down is about 85-90% similar to Creed Aventus. And honestly, it's stronger than the new batches of Creed Aventus. So for that, you got to give it its props. C tier, you could make the argument for B again, but we're going to go C tier for Club de Nuit Intense Man. And finally, the last fragrance we're going to be ranking today, YSL EDP. I recently got this and I honestly absolutely love it. It is extremely popular. I think a B tier ranking is fair for this one. Honestly, it could even be a low A tier fragrance. It's perfect for a younger guy. It's soapy, fresh, masculine, a little bit sweet. A great signature scent you can wear all year round. It's extremely sporty. It works great for gym, for sports, that type of thing. YSL EDP will go for the B tier. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you agree with my tier list. If you completely disagree, just let me know. And if you guys have any other video ideas, also let me know in the comments. And if one gets a lot of likes or I really like the video idea, I will 100% do it. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, etc. Do that. Thank you.